All right, well, here's a little video I'm doing about uh this repairing this MLR400. And you can see I've already got that end stripped, and there's the shield and the inner foam and the center conductor. So good. I want to just do a little let's do a little review too. This is the cutter, the stripper that I'm using, and this is the brand. This is it, and it said specifically on the thing that it would work with LMR 400. Let me tell you what, it will not. It's I don't know if I may have to like adjust the blades on it. I don't think the blades are adjusted right. I'll have to take it and see if I can adjust the blades on it, but it is not stripping it all that great. I think I'm gonna end up probably getting me a decent coax stripper from DX Engineering or somewhere, because this thing is just, to me, it's absolute junk. And it's not, I mean, it'll cut that much of it, but then you got the rest of it. You've got to this inner foam, you've got to cut it yourself because it's not cutting it like it's supposed to. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of work on that and get it right. But this is the coax the squirrels chewed up, and I'm gonna do the repair on it and see if I can get it right. Maybe the next I'll do this in and try to maybe add it to the video and see if I can get it to work right with this cutter. But I think that the best thing you can do is just get a DX Engineering or go through Gigaparts or somebody and get an actual better coax stripper than the one I bought. It's not that great. I mean, you pay for what you get, or it's cheap and it works cheap. So maybe we'll have better luck with it. But I'll add to this and I'll show you guys what the outcome is. Hopefully it'll work out. Okay, so this is part 2 of me doing this coax repair. So again, like I said, this little stripper from Amazon, it's not that great. I mean, it works fairly well, but I did manage to get one end done. See if you can see it. I got one end already repaired, soldered and everything. So gonna go and do the end on this. This is the other end of the piece. This is a short piece where I'm gonna have to take one of those double-ended barrel connectors and connect it back together. And so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm putting this stripper, I'm putting the orange side up like that. Now the ones you get probably from DX Engineering and other places that are actually made for LMR 400 are going to be a lot better. This thing is fair. I wouldn't recommend it. It's by Wiz or something like that off of Amazon. It comes with like a combination crimper. The crimper's actually good. Crimper works really well, but this is just not that great. But anyway, if you're going to strip it, strip it down enough to where you have enough sticking up. So you're gonna have to take that white center foam, I guess it's like what they call dielectric foam, off the end, so you can slide your center conductor up through your connector. So you're gonna have to come down a little further than what you would normally do. Slide this sucker on there like that, and then twist it a few times just to. Now this is basically just 2 blades that are cutting through this. So I'm gonna twist it 3 or 4 or 5 times and get a good cut through there. So And what's bad is this thing is so small, it's just hard to get it off. Oh crap. Yep. See, I hit the camera trying to get the thing out of there. This is crap. I would not, I said it was fair. I'm really gonna, I'm reducing my evaluation of this down from 2 stars to 1 star. If I could give it no stars, I'd give it no stars. This is junk. This is not made for LMR400. I don't care what they say. So this is crap. I'm probably going to end up getting another stripper. But anyway, I'm going to try to get this dielectric off the, or phone, covering off if it cut complete through it. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to pull the, and it cut through it. It's just hard to get it when you have to cut it that far down. It ain't really cut through it that great. Actually, I think it cut through the foam this time, which it shouldn't have done. Yeah, I'm gonna have to recut that. That's so screwed up. That's why I said this cutter is junk. And if you hear somebody, they're down here shooting today. Yeah, this cutter's junk because it's not cutting it. It's not cutting it down the way it should. It's not cutting it the way it should, so because it's not cutting enough of the jacket away. I can actually do a better job. See that how it did that? It just took the hole, and then you got this little short piece. It shouldn't be that short. It needs to be like way down here. It's not cutting it right. So basically, this cutter is garbage. You're gonna end up having to get another one because I know I'm probably going to end up having to do more cable repairs in the future, and so it's gonna have to have another one day because this is not working. Not at all. So I'm having to cut through the, it's not leaving enough of the foam. See how it cuts, it cuts, and then need more of that foam to be, I believe. I don't know, I'll have to look at it and see. I can take this and run it up through the connector. I pulled that piece off, so I'm gonna fold this back. I'm gonna fold that the shield back and put it back on top of the coax here. Well, actually I got to do something else before I do that. So I'm getting ahead of myself. I always manage to do this. Got to go in this pack. First things first, you got to get the crimp collar that goes on there. I'll show you that. Well, I'm gonna do this right quick. I'm gonna put this piece of I can slide this piece of heat shrink tube. I shouldn't pull that shield back as quick. I haven't done a coax repair like this since 1993. Most of the time I'm just buying my stuff off the shelf and just going with it, but I used to make up coax assemblies in Radio Shack back in 1993. We had this stuff on a roll and then roll it off and put the ends on it and all that good stuff. So get this over this. Flip this down over this, and this is not the best heat shrink that I've had too, but it works. It'll work fine for what I'm doing. Okay, so I got slide the heat shrink on there. I'm gonna pull this back. So this is my first stint with these these connectors and putting connectors on the LMR400, so I don't know how this is going to do. I don't know how this is going to work, so we're just going to have to go with it and see. Hopefully it'll be all right. I'm just getting this little bit of this off the outside. I don't know if this is some kind of, I think it's part of the shield, but I'm not sure. I know some of them have. All right, so there it is. So I'm gonna take my end. Let's see, my collar. I think I can slide this. This is your collar here. I should have put that on first, but it's all right. Slide it on it. It'll slide up over that. It'll slide up over that shield, all right, as long as it don't tear it up too bad trying to get it on there. Well, may have to. I think it'll. Yeah, it twisted on there. Okay, so I got the collar on there. Now I'm gonna put the end on it. Find my end. What I done with it. I got the. There it is. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now, and I got cable falling off everywhere because this is like 250 feet of cable that I'm dealing with. So I'm gonna take that and put it up there. Be nice to have more foam on that, but let's see. That may have to work. I hope it does. Maybe it's enough to crimp too. I think I'm going to take a little bit more of that off. I'm going to take a little more of this outer jacket off. I'm probably just going to use, I used to do this in the store too, because I think we had a crappy set of crimpers. I'm just going to take a razor knife and I'm going to cut back a little bit and just, so I'll have more of that foam going up on there. Because I got to have enough material to crimp to so the crimp won't come off. And hopefully this will work. I'm not going to cut all the way through it, just enough to get the outer jacket off. And the first connector went on pretty well. I didn't have much trouble with it. And hopefully it'll be all right. I don't want to cut myself neither. That's one of the things that you'll run into too, is cutting your fingers when you're trying to get stuff like this. This jacket is not a razor knife. Razor knife's not cutting through it all that great, but if it wasn't for that cutter being so bad, I'd use it on this. I may have to like, I hate to use this again. I have to cut through that once with it and get it all. Now I cut through enough of it to get it off of there. Like I said, this is trial and error. Oh, man. Wow. Not working too well. Daggone squirrels, they can do a number on your stuff and they can really screw you really well. And they did. They screwed me really good. I wasn't prepared to do all this, but just no time better than the present, I guess. Hopefully I can get this off. tearing the shield up too bad. I need that shield to be right. And I'm not showing you what all I'm having to go through to get this outer jacket off, because it's really ridiculous. I should invest in better tools, and I'm going to, because this is not conducive to actually making it easy. But I think I'm getting it now. I think this piece is going to come off here now. Get it slide off of there. Dang. Yeah, this is pain. It's a pain. I'm sorry guys, I'm not showing you what I'm doing on the camera right now, because I'm having to go through a real process to get this off, and it shouldn't be this way. If the connector had been better, if the if that piece had been better, the cutter had been better, the coax stripper would have been better, it would have been easier to do this. It wouldn't be so hard. Right now it's making it time consuming and a pain in the butt. So don't know how this is going to work out. We'll just have to see how it does, and when I put the tester on it, we'll see if I got continuity on my ends. That's where it's going to tell the tale, because if it's not right, then it's going to be a waste. This time spent doing nothing. But trim some of that off. Okay. As always, just seems like this is my worst nightmare that I would have to go through, is having to repair LMR400. No, like I said, it's better than buying a whole new run, which is about $400. So I trimmed that back some. I got the shield. You can see it don't look great, but we'll work with it. So I'm gonna slide this end on there. And I was trying to leave enough of that dielectric foam so I can have enough to crimp to. There we go. Now, that's what I need. So I got enough foam in there. It's foam going all the way to the backside of the backside of the connector. I might have a little bit too much shield. I don't want all that shield to stick out like that, so I'm gonna have to trim some of that off. That looks terrible. I don't like stuff to look like that, but what can you do? I can fix it though. I can get it to work right. I'll have to trim some of it off. I'll probably have to invest in some trimmers too. That's some other stuff that I'm gonna need. So we'll get this down right. How well this is going to work. This connector is going on worse than the last one, so I don't know. Hopefully this is not going to be a disaster. We've got to have I think that's going to work. So you won't, okay, I got that collar up on there and the shield's underneath it. I got to trim some of this off, and all that, and then I got my heat shrink below it, so I'm gonna crimp this sucker on there and then trim this off, and we'll solder the end, and then we'll test them and see what we got. So these are the crimpers, and basically they're ratchet and crimpers, so you do is just, you want to make sure that you got, you know, a good tight connection. Well, I got some of that shield sticking out. Like that. I don't want that. I have to trim that off. Do this. That shield sticking out like that. So it's just takes some work to get this right. Yeah, he's shooting again. Shooting them up. Okay, you can see I got it. There's butted up against the, I have to get my camera to focus. Butted up against the edge. You can see that. I just took this collar off so you could see it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this back on, because I don't know if it'll go over it. If I crimp it, it may not slide back. It probably will. But. And here's my crimpers, and I'm gonna put my crimper on here to make sure this thing is up here tight. And I'm on the, okay. So here we go. It should be right. I'm just pulling on it to be sure, but it, so you can, if you can tell, it crimped it, so it's good. It did a good job. It's on there, like everything's on there good. It's good and tight. And then we're gonna, probably got it right here. I'm gonna take these and trim this off real close to this. Trim that off right even with the, there. That way, that's good. I think that'll be work. I think that'll do it. So there's that. You can see that that's crimped on there. I've trimmed the end off right even with the end. I don't know why this camera, there you go. You can see that. This camera don't want to focus. I'm gonna slide this up. Had a time with this heat shrink tubing, because it's not quite as big as the cable, so I had to kind of slice it and then slide it up there and then trim it off. But it did fine. I'm probably going to back it with some electrical tape just to be sure. Oh. All right, we hear you. So you can see I kind of split it a little bit so it'll slide up over that connector better. So hopefully you can get it up over it. There we go. So I'm gonna keep sliding it till I get it. There we go. So I got it slid up far enough where I can cut that split out of it. All right, now I got that. We'll slide that up as far as I can get it. Kind of try to get some waterproof deal going here. It probably ain't gonna be great waterproof, but at least it'll work. It'll suffice. I think that'll be far enough. Okay, there it is. And I can run it up on one of my antenna and one of my radio, or where it goes into the house actually. So I'm gonna solder that. We'll take the heat gun. So this is my heat gun. This is that. I'm gonna see how I got it hot enough. Yeah, I'm just gonna heat that up so that'll shrink on there. And nice and tight. Maybe help keep moisture and water out of it. Alright, that's done. That's on there good and hot. Hot. Then all we gotta do now is solder it. Yeah, do that real quick. I got one. I'll show the one I've already done. Hopefully the end's not really as great as I would like it to be on this one, but this is the one I've already done. You can see the end. Nice some heat shrink on it. Everything that's on one end. So that one's done. So time to hook the soldering iron up and solder this one. So don't know if you can see the vise here. Use this vise just to hold this so I don't have to fight this too much. This is still stuff and I don't want to give. And hopefully this is going to work. If I don't have continuity on them, I'm going to be mad, and I'm going through all this process and then I'm back to square one again. But you know, we'll just deal with the punches and roll as it moves. Alright, and I got my trusty solder, my gun. I'm gonna heat the end up. I think this guy would quit shooting his gun so I could talk. Heat it up pretty good, so I have to heat this part. Just want to get it hot so the solder will flow good. If it don't flow real good, it ain't gonna make a good. You want your solder to be silvery looking, not opaque, and that's not going to be a good connection. Might be right. I have to clean this up a little bit. Solder gets down on that. That's not really Probably have been better if I had 10 the ends first before sometimes that works better. If you just go ahead and tin them, which means just putting a little solder on them to start with before you then it sometimes that'll make it adhere better to start with. On wires, circuit boards are going to be a different thing, but wires are. Turn this up some. Get that little piece off of there. Believe me, I haven't done this in years, so you can tell. This guy's just going to keep shooting. Really need some of that wire stuff, that solder remover. I guess I'm going to have to be satisfied with that. It looks pretty decent. I think it's going to be fine. So, I don't know if to put my readers on to see what this end looks like. I don't know how it's going to work. Sometimes I have to have my readers on, so I'm getting old and I can't see stuff as good as I used to. Here's talking about screening me for glaucoma in July, so we'll see what happens then. But we'll make do with this. Hopefully it'll work. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it works out alright. Maybe it'll be fine. Maybe this will work alright. Anyway, that's 2 ends done. And we'll see. I'll do a continuity test on them and see how they work. I think I've got to put a battery in my meter, and there's my end soldered on there. And we'll go from there. That's my adventure in repairing squirrel eating coax LMR400. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and maybe I won't have to do it again no time soon. This is K4MTW, the Radio Junkie, and I'll see you later on. Alright, so this is like a third part of this coax repair. I already put the ends on it. Did a little short beginning video showing where the end went on it, and then the second one kind of where I did the end on the other part. Didn't show much of that because it was a process. The biggest thing is that that coax stripper that I had, and I don't have it here on the workbench now, but that coax stripper that I had that I bought from Amazon, it's junk, and I had to go through a process of cutting that jacket off of that coax to actually get the end slid on it and get it fixed like it's supposed to be. It took a little improper technique to get it put on there. It's not what I would recommend anybody to do. To make sure you get the right tools to put stuff on like that, because it'll save you a lot of headaches. And you see the headaches that I went through putting that end on without the right coax stripper. So it was not made for LMR400, and I said that in the other video. And that's why I didn't show as much, because I didn't want, you know, guys on there saying, look, you're doing it all wrong. No, I know I'm doing it all wrong, because it shouldn't have happened. I should have been able to strip the jacket and the shield and all that, the braid and everything underneath off with one cut and have it just like you're supposed to have it to slide the connector on. It should be very simple to do with the right coax stripper, but since that stripper's junk, I had to do it kind of like, let's put it this way, the improper technique in order to do it. And I got it on there, got it soldered, and the continuity's good. I already tested it, but this is my meter. I got an analog meter here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on buzz, which is to help me test the continuity on this. You can see it right. Maybe you can see it says buzz. So I'm going to test the continuity on these ends. So basically what I'm going to do is, like on the outside, where the outside part, the actual test it. I'll tell you what, I'll take this. This is one of the pieces that I did. I put the ends on. I already had one factory end or end on it where it was put on, I guess, at DX Engineering, and then the end that I put on right there, you can see it. So basically what I'm going to do, and I can use this piece to show you, it's a lot easier because it's right here. So like this will go, you want to touch your probe to this side on the outside, and this on this side, and you can hear it. That's continuity between the outside and the outside. Now I want to make sure that I don't have it crossed up. I'll touch it to the inside. I got touching to the outside. Let me make sure. It's kind of hard to do this and hold it up. Hold on a minute. Kind of hard to do this and hold it up to the camera and show you. If I had a better setup, it would probably be easier. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it to that. I'm holding it to that and to the end right there. And I'm making sure that there's no crossover between the center conductor and the outer shield. So you can see I got it. Okay, so if I touch it to this, it should buzz again. Well, it's supposed to. There you go. Now I got continuity. You can tell. That's on the outside. Okay, now if I touch it to the centers, so it should be continuity to the center. So I got one, you can see it there. I'm gonna touch the probe to the center. There's just a way to test continuity on cables, so you know that you got them right. And again, this is, oh gosh, trying to do this and make it, the struggles of a YouTuber. Anyway, here we go. So we got this. I'm gonna try to run my arm through here and kind of support it where I can show you guys. So I want to touch one probe. I don't think it really matters which end you use of the probes to know which, but you'll touch this one to center. And I could use alligator clips, would be easier. I got some test clips that I could use to do it with. So I'm gonna touch it to this center. This center, and I got continuity between the centers. Should be right. I'll touch it to hold it right there. So you can see I'm holding it to get this in the camera. I'm holding the probe to the center part. And if you hold it to that center part, to the center part on the other end, let's see. Well, now it's not touching because I'm not touching them together. I've got so many wires and stuff going on here. Just don't want my body to contact it because I want to be sure that I'm showing you right. And so I'm gonna do this. It might be easier if I laid the cable down. This is just let's do it this way. So there's one probe. I can hold both probes in my hands like this. I'm gonna touch both probes to the centers. Let's see. You can see I got continuity between the ends. And I tested the other side, the other longer cable, and it's the same way. It's working exactly the same. So everything is good to go. And then I can run my cable back up the hill and figure out a way to keep the squirrels out of it. So that's it, guys. And then later on today, I should be on the radio on HF, checking it out. Hopefully my HF cable is still in good shape. So this is K4MTW, the Radio Junkie, and I'll be seeing you live here later on surfing the HF bands. We'll talk to you guys later in 73.